Okay, I'm just trying to rest a little bit, but I want to talk about something that's really important. In our brains, we have something called hedonistic hotspots. Hedonistic hotspots are parts of our brain that are entirely devoted to pleasure. And these two scientists, who I'm forgetting their names, but they wrote about this. I happened to discover this before I read those scientists, but it's so weird. That little thumbs up thing. I don't know if you saw it. Anyway, I happened to just find this out because I used to have chronic pain. And I just, in order to kind of distract myself, I started to focus on things that made me feel good emotionally or physically. So I got massages, I wrote out appreciation, I went out in nature, I petted animals, dogs and cats that I met. You know, I cooked good healthy food. I appreciated other people. I appreciated nature. I breathed in my beautiful roses that are so fragrant. I breathed in my jasmine and my lavender that I'm growing, and you know, that was good. I sometimes would breathe in essential oils also, or light candles, meditate, you know, laugh, go to comedy, all these things that I was doing. At first, when I was sick, I couldn't do that. I was sick like longer than 15 years ago, and I would just, I couldn't do much, but I started to practice doing this. And what happened? So I had narcolepsy, I had chronic pain, I was falling asleep all the time with the narcolepsy, my adrenals were depleted, my thyroid was off, my eyesight was worse, my hair was thinning, my eyebrows were thinning, all that stuff, probably more. I had PTSD, I had suicidal depression, I had panic attacks. You know, I was not a happy camper. Anyway, so I started to just focus on these other things, mostly just because I needed something to focus on because I was so tired and so much in pain. And what happened was the pain started to ebb away, and I started to get more energy. And I focused on things that gave me emotional or physical pleasure so much that years later, which was like 7 years ago, I had an accident where I accidentally severed 3 tendons on the back of my hand, and it didn't hurt. I went and got surgery. I was going to go bike riding. My neighbor happened to come over, and he said, "You have to go to the hospital." And he was right. I had to go to the hospital. But anyway, I was supposed to, I got the surgery, and I didn't use any anesthesia, just local, and I laughed through the whole surgery. I got hand therapy for 10 months because you got to get your hand to work again. And no pain. Everybody in the hand therapy place was just like suffering. And I was having a great time. They were actually really funny. Oh my God, they were so funny. And they had joke time all the time. It was so cute. Anyway, so it was great. So I didn't get any pain for that. And I've had other things where I've like, oh, I had when I had hurt my whatever it is, my hand. I also got a concussion. No pain in my head, nothing like that. And then I've had things, you know, where I hit the coffee table with my shin or something like that. No pain. One other time after this or before this, at some point, I was walking with a girlfriend into a restaurant, and the restaurant had changed the seating area. Not the seating, but the way to the restroom. So there's a restroom to the side. So I was going to go towards the restroom first, and as I was walking, I was listening to her, and she was talking, we were laughing, and there was a bench, and I just didn't see it, and I just fell right on my head. My knee hit the bench, so I got a huge hematoma on my knee, and my head hit the floor, and I just was laughing. I did not feel any pain, and I had a huge the hematoma was like, it was big. Anyway, no problem. And so that's why I wrote my first book called Chronic Pleasure, and I talk about the hedonistic hotspots. Here's the thing that's important to know about them. So we all have, let's say this is your brain, we all have these hedonistic hotspots. Let's say they're in the tips of the fingers. And then we have a pain center. If we focus on the pain, because whatever you focus on grows, the pain will just keep going and going and going. And the pain will hijack the pleasure centers, the hedonistic hotspots. I unconsciously did the opposite, where I focused on all these things that gave me either emotional or physical pleasure, and they took over the pain. Because I believe that pain is meant to be, you know, just a communication. You're doing something that's not working for you. And when you, I am so tired from doing this workout. It was so good. When you, see, that's something I like to do too, is working out. And so that's another thing that feeds my hedonistic hotspots. Anyway, when you focus on the pain, it'll grow. When you focus on the pleasure, it'll grow. And I think I focused on the pleasure so much that it overtook my pain center. And then years later, a friend of mine, she just died actually, but she was ready to die. She wanted to die. But she showed me these two doctors who had done studies on this. And these two doctors were talking about these hedonistic hotspots, and that's where I got the term. Can't remember the name, but they were brilliant. And it was just amazing to me, the difference in my body. From somebody who had chronic pain to somebody that no longer had any pain, even with injuries, I was stunned at the difference. And so I just wanted to share that, because a lot of people get pain, and it's meant to just be a warning thing for you to change something, for you to heal something. Healing to me means to have continuous improvement, to always keep getting better. You know, it's competition against myself. I don't compete against others, but I have competition against myself. Anyway, all right, that's it. Thank you so much. Gonna go make my one meal. Ciao.